So, you want to make a YouTube channel. You might even want to make some money off YouTube. But there's this pesky requirement of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to make money on YouTube. How long does it take? What will it take? Those sound like questions you want to have answered. Go ahead, smash that like button, and we'll hop right into it. My name is Terry. I am a member of Key Smash Studios. There are two of us that work primarily in YouTube, and I'm going to take you through what it took for us to get to 1,000 subscribers in hopes that it might answer what it might take for you to do the same. The long story short of this is that it took us 21 months from our first video being released to us being approved by YouTube. It took somewhere between 500 to 2,000 hours of work. So if you're fine with that depressing statistic, I will go into some of the things that worked well for us and potentially some of the things that you can do differently that might speed up the process for you. As I'm sure you're familiar with the YouTube Studio, I'm going to jump right over to our analytics and show you some of the raw data about how long it took for us and sort of what that progression was like. So this is our lifetime channel. We actually made the channel on January 31st, but we did not release our first video until March. We debuted our first video in March to 12 views and 2 net subscribers over the month of March, meaning that for each dot in this line, this shows what our channel went up. By the next month, we went up 3 subscribers, we had 57 views, and it goes on and on and on, each month doing a little bit different. I should note that this is a net chart, meaning that this is how much we expect to gain every month, not a additive chart, meaning that we only have 139 subscribers at the end. This means our last month we got 139 subscribers, not a total of 139. It's a little confusing at first, but I say all of this to say that is a long, slow grind. On January of 2020, we had 200 subscribers. It sped up a little bit in the last year. We got 800 in our next 12 months as opposed to our first 9 months only getting 200. So it does speed up, but please, please, please expect this to be slow. It is not a fast process by any means, but it is well worth it when you get to the end. As far as our channel, we have 178 videos, the peak of which has just over 33,000 views. Your channel will do a lot better if you have a video that goes viral. With the rough numbers out there, I want to talk about what some of the things are that we found that work on YouTube and some of the things that I think you can do differently to speed up this process. Things that we found that work are having a central theme to your channel. As a whole, our channel is largely about game design, game development, coding, things of that nature. All that thing is under the umbrella of game design. Your channel obviously doesn't have to be about game design, but all of our videos, or almost all of our videos, are largely centered around the idea of that, whether that's a devlog, or a tutorial in coding, or a long series on how to make a game, or a long series on how to make a map. Keeping things central to one idea and one philosophy tells people that your channel is largely about that philosophy and they can come to your channel to get that content. Another thing that works pretty well is to have thumbnails. With the exception of our first 2 videos here, you can see that almost everything on our first list has a thumbnail of some type. Recently, we've been doing some thumbnails like this that add a human element to it, whether it's a drawn picture or an animated face, something that adds something to our channel. We had a buddy draw these up, this is me, to add on to our videos. Another thing that really helps your channel grow is to have interactions within your audience. Being able to have a video where you have comments and replies to a video, things of that nature, are really going to help your videos grow and be promoted by the algorithm. So go ahead, make sure you respond to everyone, all that jazz. It's something that you should know already, but it is what it is. The next thing that I want to talk about that I know works, and it's sort of going to tie into what I think you can do differently than we did, is that initial views are important. The algorithm works based on statistics, and statistics need a large enough sample size to know what's happening on the start. That means, and this is something you can do differently from what we did, that you need to be pushing your content out there on other platforms, whether that's Twitter, Reddit, name the social media. Go out there, put your video out there, ask for views, beg for views, because once you get 30 views, 50 views, the algorithm has a much better idea of what your video is than it does when you have 4. And it errs on the side of caution. So if you have 4 views, it's not going to show your video to anyone. If you have 50, it might show your video to someone and you might start getting sort of like the ball rolling. So by all means, one of the things that you should and can do differently than what we did early on is to externally promote your content. Another thing that you can do is to have a face cam. Now, it's a personal preference here. I personally do not want to have my face on YouTube. I might at some point, but for right now, I'm not putting my face on YouTube. But having that humanizing element on your videos undoubtedly helps your videos. I can tell you, series where we have a video that has a face on the thumbnail do much better than series where we do not have a face on the thumbnail. And that is because having a face of any type humanizes your video. So by all means, if a face cam is right for you, please do that. That also ties into something that you can do differently. Make sure you have a thumbnail for every video. As you can see from some of our old videos on this first page, that we don't always have thumbnails for videos, and it's something we're slowly going back and rectifying. But having a thumbnail that is engaging, pops out, pulls the person in is important. So this is a video about 14 free games to play during quarantine. It has a thumbnail. It did fairly well for us. It's no longer doing well for us because people watched it, they liked it, and then it was done. The last thing I want to talk about that I think you can do differently is to tailor your content to what you need out of the 2 requirements. If you are ahead in subscribers but trailing in watch numbers, there are ways that you can get views at the cost of not getting as many subscribers, and vice versa. What I mean by that is, as a whole on our channel, as I said before, for every 1 subscriber, we usually got about 150 views. If I go to our top rated video here, this is a one-off video. If I look at the analytics of this one-off video, we can see that it's a little more than 1,000 views for every 1 subscriber that I've gained from this video. It's been out for over a year, so the sample size is ridiculously large, and I know that this one-off video does not get that many subscribers, but it does give me a bunch of watch time. If I, by chance, compare that to a video that is a series, I can see that I only got 15,000 views from this. I got much less watch time, but I got way more subscribers. And in fact, I did much closer to and almost right at that channel average of 1 subscriber for every 150 viewers. So if you are low on the subscribers, by all means, use a series. Series are what people engage with. It's what makes them come back. So use a series, get those subscribers up. You won't get quite as many views perhaps on your first one as something where you Google the analytics and the trends and you track the trends and go make a video. But you will get more subscribers and help you get to that 1,000 mark, which is probably the harder of the 2 to get to. If you have any questions about how this whole process works, if you have any questions about how long it took for us to get to 1,000 subscribers, if I didn't explain that in a way that's helpful to you, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. I will try to drop any information I can. I am an open book on this. You can come ask me almost anything about YouTube. If you'd like, we have a Discord. You'll find a link in the description. You can hop in there and ask me in there as well. As always, I hope this has been helpful. I hope if you're sticking through and you're doing YouTube and it sounds fun to you, by all means, go ahead, do it. Try to learn from what we did, what it took for us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Go on, do it. I believe in you. Let me know down below to what your channel is, and I'll be more than happy to drop in and give it a visit. I hope this has been helpful. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. It really does help us grow as a channel, and hopefully we'll see you next week.